what I'm hoping to achieve from this exercise here is to really show you all how recruiters, you know, ingest your profile. Like, what are some of the things that you're looking at? What are some of the things that move the needle the most? I think that would be a super helpful exercise for anybody watching. Perfect. So maybe the banner. What do you make of this banner?
Um, Honestly, nothing. I think I don't, as a recruiter, I would not have a lot of thoughts about it. Again, nobody would get accepted or rejected because of a banner.
Okay.
Can a banner attract and then keep me there for 1 second longer? Yes. If they would want to talk about like they're a data scientist, they can just plainly like data scientist or something related to data scientist and ML AI engineer. I
Got it.
would definitely say like a better, and this is nothing against you, I promise,
Of
but a
course. No,
better,
he volunteered. He was
yeah.
like, this is the whole point. So please
Good
roast
luck,
me.
people. Okay, all
Yeah,
right. I
yeah.
would definitely get like a better picture because this
Okay.
looks like a selfie where either he
Yep.
wasn't ready or he's not happy. He looks
Hmm.
like he doesn't look happy, right? So I would
Yeah.
probably say like a very warm photo. Doesn't have to be very professional, you guys. Just
Hmm.
needs to be where I can see your face very
Yep.
clearly. And it sounds like very welcoming. That means, when I look at the picture, it sounds like it's a good profile that I would want to scroll through, right? Um,
Absolutely.
I would
Yeah.
definitely suggest not directly write like open to full-time data scientist. I would probably just write data scientist and AI ML engineer, then
Okay.
go to market, and then obviously supply company founding something. And then absolutely at the end, I can write looking for full-time positions, right?
Interesting. So have it at the end instead of the beginning. Is that
Right.
right?
Yes. Now, when it goes back to the idea of positioning yourself as a professional versus positioning yourself as a job seeker, as soon as the first
Uh-huh.
thing I would see that he's looking for a full-time role, not
Hmm.
me as a recruiter, but anybody who'd come across the profile, they would know that this person can be a liability data with like the amount of referrals they would ask, or
Yeah.
the help that they would want, or the coffee chat they
Hmm.
would want. So probably that, right? And that's the probably
Interesting.
the only reason. Yeah, then scroll down for me, and then
Yeah,
because
one real quick thing. Help put this to bed for me. The much debated open to work
open to
banner
work banner.
on your profile. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's your take on that? He doesn't have it. And
yeah.
actually, I'll confess, part of that was because of me, because I'm not the biggest fan. But obviously, your opinion is what really matters here.
Um,
So,
I'll tell you what happens. So there are two ways you can show that you're open to work. One is the banner, obviously, that shows to everybody, and the other is
hmm,
only to the recruiters, right?
correct. Yeah.
Now, when only the recruiter sees, and the recruiters are seeing it in their tool, so you don't have to worry about that. You are not like that's not a missed opportunity. Recruiters would still end up seeing it. Now,
I
the
see.
fun part is hiring managers or anybody else in the team cannot see that banner, right? Because
Uh,
you have chosen it to only be seen by the recruiter.
recruiters. Yeah.
Nobody else can see it. So is that a missed opportunity? Probably yes, because the hiring people won't be able to see it. Anybody else in the team won't be able to see it. But
Interesting.
second, also the same thing, if you go ahead and connect with somebody, then
Hmm.
they would know that probably it is going to be more about the job search and nothing else, right? Because you're just a job
Interesting.
seeker. So people can have that biases as well. But with Deep,
Yep.
I think there's an irony because he doesn't have the badge, but the first thing he says is looking for a full-time job.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah,
still somehow you're still talking about it, right? So,
yeah.
short answer, yes, you can have the banner. If you're still on a timeline, I would definitely suggest have the banner. There
Hmm.
can be more opportunities that would come through your way. But if you're not on a timeline, it's okay to not have the banner for everybody. Just have it for the
Okay.
recruiters. Yeah, a
Love
good
it.
question though.
That's so cool. Yeah, no, I had no idea about the like levels to this game, right? I just thought it was something super obvious. You either have it or you don't, but no, this is all blowing my mind. Very cool. So we'll keep going here. His location is, I guess, that probably doesn't
That's
matter as
okay.
much.
No, that doesn't matter because wherever
Okay.
he is, that is okay. And then
Okay.
obviously San Francisco is a hub right now for all these roles
Uh-huh.
and all these startups, so it's good to have that for sure.
Great. So
Um,
then we reach to
yeah.
the about. So how should one approach this about? And maybe as you think through that, maybe you could share if this is a good about that people could be looking at.
So a couple of
Hopefully
things.
you can read, right? I can
Right,
zoom
right.
it more if you
No,
want.
this
Okay,
is beautiful. I
perfect,
can read it absolutely clearly. So a couple of
perfect.
things in this. First is approaching AI from a from a systems first perspective, which is great.
Huh?
He's just introducing who he is, right?
Hmm.
But then my brain goes to why is the I not capital, right? And this can be just me as somebody who's crazy on the personal branding. Hi there, I'm a data scientist, and somehow the I is not capital. And then he's
Hmm.
again positioning himself as more of a graduate student rather than more of a professional, right? Because he starts his
Because this is
conversation that,
grad. Yep.
yes, right?
Interesting.
I would probably say, hi, I'm a data scientist with 2+ years of hands-on experience, da, da, da. then
Hmm.
go ahead and say that I also have a master's degree in whatever he needs to mention,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Um,
Love
and
it.
what is a quick about me? So I would probably say things you need to know about me, things you should definitely read, like have a very good hook about it, right? So
Hmm. Hmm.
whenever
Hmm.
I say that, we don't have to get like extremely serious on LinkedIn. We don't have to do that.
Hmm.
One,
Yeah,
yes, obviously the professionalism, that line should never be crossed. That means stay very professional. But if you had like a little bit of personality to your conversation, that's great, right? So if you need to add that personality to your about me section, definitely go ahead and do it. But
great.
the most important thing about me, have credibility,
Hmm.
expertise, and experience. Okay, I'll say that again. Credibility comes with how many years of experience you have, where have you worked, what kind of work have you done, right?
Okay.
Expertise comes with what kind of tools you're like pretty hands on, and where
Okay.
you are like a 10 on a 10 or a 8 on a 10, and something that your roles might be looking for, right? And then the
Got it.
third thing, your experience comes from what kind of projects have you done, what kind of stakeholders you have worked with, what kind of
Hmm.
industries you might have worked with. And then
Hmm.
that all comes together as your very good about me section, right? Um,
Got it.
One thing that he hasn't written is the about me section has an option of adding 5 top skills, Naman,
Okay. Interesting.
right?
I also didn't know that.
Right. So if you will go to like your own profile, that'll go an option of editing it. It has an option of
Uh-huh.
adding 5 skills at the end of about me. That
Got
gives a
it.
very clear idea that as a data scientist or as an AI ML engineer, what are these
Hmm.
5 top things or skills that you can do for us?
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds like a must do for everyone.
Yeah.
And just a real quick follow up, the
Hmm.
three things that you mentioned, credibility, expertise, and sorry, there was one other thing.
Experience.
Experience, there you go. So would you say it makes sense to just explicitly call them out within the about? Like how what do you think of
No,
that
no, no.
approach?
That's why I didn't
No?
say like
Okay.
categorize them. I just said that
Okay,
it
okay.
should have these 3 things so that when
Got it.
somebody reads it again, it should sound like that you're actually speaking with somebody. It shouldn't sound
Hmm.
like that you picked it up from ChatGPT and you're
Yeah, yeah.
throwing it on somebody's face. It should
Right.
absolutely feel like that you're actually just talking with them. And that's why I said
Got
add a
it.
little bit of your personality to it, right? So
Amazing.
it doesn't have to be very, very structured, but it should
Hmm.
definitely talk about all these 3 things.
Makes sense. And then
Yeah.
final question on the about. Is there such a thing as an about being too long or too
Yeah.
big? Like what's the right size of an about
This
according
is a
to you?
beautiful size, honestly. This is great.
Okay.
I
Okay.
would probably just add like a couple of lines at the end that if you are
Hmm.
interested or if you want to have conversations about something ABC, let's
Yeah.
connect, right? So
Nice.
more welcoming again. But this
Like
is
a
a very good
CTA as
size.
well.
Yeah, like a
Yeah, yeah.
CDA as well. This is a very
Nice.
good size. And going back to your question, yes, there is something like too long of an about me. You don't
Hmm.
have to do that until unless you're like unable to respond to all the DMs, you're unable to, you know, be very active on LinkedIn and you think your profile should say everything,
Hmm.
I don't think your about me needs to be extremely lengthy.
Great. Makes
Yeah.
total sense. And then probably the featured, yeah, I guess he has his post that one. So he was shortlisted for a Y Combinator thingy,
Hmm.
and then he has his GitHub.
Hmm.
What are your favorite ways to use the featured? Is putting your resume in there a good idea? Would you say?
Yes, if you're a job seeker and if you're okay, your email and your phone number being out there, yes, it's always a good idea. I'm so glad that you said GitHub. Can you scroll where his photo is, please?
To the top,
Yes,
you mean here?
here,
Yeah.
yes. Everybody has an option of putting a website link here, Naman.
Oh,
So
right,
people
right,
should
right.
be able to put their portfolio and then should be able to put their website right, both, right?
Got
Now,
it.
for him, I don't know why does it not show here. He should be able to show that on the profile without clicking on
Hmm.
contact info. It should be there, right
Okay.
where the San Francisco is, right above that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yep, it does
right?
show
So
up. Maybe he just hasn't has it
which is okay.
configured
I mean, this is
probably.
again for everybody that if you have a
Uh-huh.
GitHub, if you have a portfolio, definitely show it on your profile because then it's
Okay.
just easier for anybody who actually, comes on your profile and be like, oh, this is interesting. They worked on this. I worked on this.
Hmm.
Good conversation starter.
And just on that topic, since we're on the portfolio subject, it's
Yeah.
you're saying it's a good idea. Everybody should do it if they can, and recruiters actually look at that stuff.
Hiring managers look at it. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
hiring
it.
managers do look at it if you have a portfolio. And if I would like, if I'm a recruiter, I shortlist your profile and hiring manager wants to interview, they would love to see that portfolio and then just
Fascinating.
get an understanding of like what kind of work you have done. So one that helps them prepare for that conversation, but then
Hmm.
also get them an understanding of what kind of work you have done versus what kind of work the team is looking for and what might be the learning curve as in when you join. So yes, that
Got it.
would be if you have a portfolio, even if the simplest, not the very designer one, it should definitely sit here
Got it.
on your profile.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I love that. And I again definitely did not know that distinction between how hiring managers are interested in that, but usually not recruiters. That's so fascinating. I'm like just
yeah,
learning so much. I'm actually low-key blown away. But and then yeah, coming back to the featured, you were like,
yeah,
yep, resume is usually a good idea. And
yeah.
again, as you said, if you're okay with your number, etc., email being
Right.
online.
Yes, absolutely. But then also remember that if you're changing your resume for every role that you're applying for,
Oh yeah.
know
Yeah, yeah,
that like
yeah.
that's only one resume that you can actually have here. So if you have a very solid resume which has a very good base for like the different roles that you're looking for, then yes. If you're looking for
Hmm.
like multiple roles and you don't have like a very solid base resume, then probably
Mhm.
not, because then you'll end up losing opportunities at the end.
And I think I'm sure somebody out there listening has this question. So say they're like 50% trying to get, say, role X and then 25 B and C, right? So then would it make sense to put that 50% resume here just because it's the
Yes,
widest basket
if
that they're trying to cover? It,
yes
would
and
that,
no, both. So
okay.
sorry, I jumped on the answer too quick, but then
No, no,
yes and
you're
no,
good.
both. Yes, if you're okay losing the rest 50% completely,
Right,
right?
right, right.
And no, because if you're only 50% into it and then you're
Mm-hmm.
giving like your 100% profile to that 50%, it's not fair,
Mm-hmm.
because this is your
Mm,
100% digital profile. And you're giving this 100% space to something which is only 50% important for you. So probably no,
huh.
right? So uh, yeah, because you cannot have multiple LinkedIn profiles. And if you have like one resume, then I'm only going to take you as a data scientist. I'm not going to think that you're an AI ML engineer as well,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then I'm going to think like, why has he did an AI ML engineer when the whole resume and the whole profile talks about data scientist?
That is such an interesting problem to solve. Like, I wish I had a better solution to that, but I think you're right. Yeah, you can't have two resumes, obviously, like that would not work.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. And then yeah, moving on, I don't think you've spent a lot of time in activity, right? I'm assuming that is
No,
that
not at all. I mean, I don't need
yeah,
that as a
yeah.
recruiter. I don't need that as an hiring manager
Exactly.
as well. I would
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
probably, yeah, this definitely needs like help because he has
Okay.
not written anything in the experience section.
Okay, okay, I see.
Right? Yeah. And then again, the same thing, the experience section doesn't have the skills that he should be
Mm,
talking about, right? So Reddy said too, he has one skill, which is analytics. Great,
mm-hmm,
which is there in the title also, doesn't define anything for me. Now, the
mm-hmm.
fun part is when as a recruiter, when I'm looking for somebody, I'm using Boolean search, right? That means I'm searching for
Okay.
different keywords and then trying to find them. He doesn't have a lot of keywords, so he would not appear in the search first. Second, when the job applications matching is happening, that means LinkedIn is trying to find the job applications which are matching to his skills. He doesn't have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of skills, so LinkedIn doesn't know what he's exactly looking for. So LinkedIn would just
Okay.
give very random jobs to him, which has
Yeah, yeah.
analytics as well, engineering as well, AI as well, data scientists as well, and then like the whole LinkedIn algorithm would be broken for him in the
Yeah,
backend.
yeah. And so real quick, when you said you're searching for people, does it only look at the skills that they enter, or does it actually look at all of these words that somebody writes?
So
Do
the
you
Boolean
happen to
search,
know?
yeah, I do. So Boolean search definitely looks at all the words, not just the skills, but skills
Okay.
is primary that comes that makes you like at the top of the search or at the end of the search. So and
Right.
that's why I think right now on LinkedIn you can add as many as 80, 90, 100 skills. So if you
Okay.
don't have that, then imagine one, you don't have the skills. Second, nobody has endorsed your skills. So
Hmm.
think of it as likes on a comment or a post, right?
I see. I
So
see.
one, you don't have a post. Second, nobody has liked those posts. And third, there is now you're competing with somebody who has 100 posts and each post has like 5 likes on it. So they would obviously appear in the
I
top
see.
search, right? So
Okay.
yes,
Got it. Got
have
it.
your experience sections fully built. That means write the bullet points, fill the skill section, have the right duration, and all of that should definitely match with the resume that you have.
And you basically what I'm hearing is more here, right? There's no such thing as writing too much. If you did something, write it to the best of your abilities. Obviously, don't write paragraphs. Like these should still be really nice and tight bullets, but don't leave anything on the table. Like just one bullet probably should not be there, right? Is that especially if you work there for a year?
Correct. I was about to say if you've worked for there for a year and if you're only doing one thing, I'm only thinking if I hire you for another year, you'll only end up doing one thing. And I was like, do I want that? Right? So yeah, and then yes, there's nothing like too much on LinkedIn, and that's the fun part, right? You can write as
Hmm.
much as you want on LinkedIn. Resume, we always have that restriction of one page.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then on LinkedIn, you don't have that. So I would definitely suggest, right? Like if you look at my profile, it has
Hmm.
everything,
Got it.
like
Got
every
it.
damn thing. Even if I've done something simultaneously, like as a volunteer and as a full-time job,
Hmm.
everything is there because I know that really matters. Like the profile should be completely built.
Yeah. Makes sense. I think that is a really strong coverage of the experience part. And then finally, education. Is this something that's important? Do you guys look at this usually or not really?
Yes, of course, because there are some basic
Okay.
qualifications that we want somebody to be a bachelor, somebody to be a master's. We have an understanding that they need to graduate, like if they're like a fresh graduate in the last 1 year, then the university
Oh,
recruiting
yeah.
team would look at it, right?
Right,
So
right, right.
definitely yes. So this is good. They have, I think they've added their coursework here. There can
Hmm.
be a separate section for coursework completely as well. They
Okay.
can add if they've done any other, like they've been parts of, part of clubs or they've
Yep.
done any other activities, they should be able to add it here as well. Um,
Yep.
Grades are not needed. Like I think there is always a debate between that. But if you're a fresh
Hmm.
graduate in the last 6 months, it's good to have your grades there.
Got it. Especially if
Yeah,
you have a good grade, right? I'm
yeah.
assuming there's no reason to
I mean, I
to
wouldn't
hide
put
it.
anything in the under 3.5. I mean, I'm sorry, no
Yeah.
haters,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
But anything under 3.5, I would probably not suggest to put it out there.
Got
But
it.
anything above that could be there.
Love it. Great. And then probably like, do you look at older educations before a master's or not really?
I just need to make sure that they have a bachelor's and a master's
Okay.
degree if the role requires for that.
Yep.
Bachelor's is something that most of the roles require for. Master's
Uh-huh.
is something that not all, but few of the roles require for. So yes, I would not look at it, but if I see a master's degree, I'm just going to assume there is a bachelor's degree
Makes
as well.
sense. Yeah. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
And then for license and certifications, I feel like this is pretty straightforward, right? If you
Mm.
have one, just put it roughly, right? I
Yes.
don't think that's up for debate. And the more
Mm.
the better, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And then for skills, I guess he does have some, and it says maybe he has 35.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as you said, there could be more because I think you said it's allowed
80, 90.
up to 80 or 90. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not sure why he's not getting an option of endorsement. For every skill, there is an option of endorsing the skill as well. So, like, you can go
Okay.
and endorse him for his like intelligence analysis. It's like that means you are certifying that he's really good in all these
Okay.
skills,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and this is again for everybody who's listening. That guys, go ahead and like endorse everybody's skills,
Hmm.
especially if people you have worked with, and then let them have endorse yours as well. That's just gonna give more um, weightage to your
Credibility,
skills,
maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
credibility, and then you're somewhere going to be on the top of the search or top applicant in your job as well because of just your skills.
Interesting. And I guess since you brought up the top applicant,
Mm.
can you help us maybe demystify that a little bit more? I don't think a lot of information is known about exactly how that works.
Okay, so when LinkedIn is trying to match, so I'm only talking about LinkedIn right now, not the backend
Yep.
applications. When LinkedIn is trying to match that you're a top applicant, it goes back to the idea of the skills that you have on your
Hmm.
profile and the skills that the role is looking for. And that's how you become the top applicant. That means out of 10, if six of it's matching, then you're not a top applicant, obviously. But if eight of the skills that are matching, then you're a top applicant. And that's why
Got
the
it.
idea of having like extensive skill set, that means adding everything, if even if you've remotely worked on it, or
Hmm.
if you've worked on it even in the past, just go ahead and
Hmm.
add that because that's how LinkedIn is like trying to match that you're a top applicant and trying to show you these kind of tools as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. So yeah, so again, I guess that concludes the review part of that segment, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm pretty sure Deep won't enjoy it as much.